everybody. Dun, 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 dun. Michael. Looks like we got a new member. Dun, 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 dun. Amy, thank you for being a member of the channel. Thank you, thank you. And I appreciate everyone being a member of the channel. For all those that are already members, Michael, Starstones, don't recognize your name, but welcome to the stream. Melissa, Rex, Eric, Ted, Don, Dan, Rosalind, Lieutenant Colonel Goose, good to see you. Ed, Maurizio, Gayton, Sergio, Donald, Andreas, Larry, Wade, Mark, and Diana, Frank, Don, Svenborn, all the way from Iceland, Doris, Brian, Robert, Craig, John, Sledge, good to see you, Muku, Dawn, Roland, Marianne, welcome everybody, Roland, and dun 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 dun, Rongamer, good to see you, Jan, Indy, Aaron, Tara, Gregory, glad to see everybody this morning. And if you wanted to say, hey, you want to talk to me while I'm on the stream, click the button over here, right down here in the corner. Be a subscriber on the channel. A few seconds later, you can chat on the stream. And I did drink the red monster today. Hopefully that doesn't mean we're going to end up in a bloodbath. I was trying to wait till we had a reversal potential before I drank the red one this week. Anyway, I do mix them up and drink all the different flavors throughout the week. I just can't drink the same flavor twice. I mean, several days in a row, I guess. I can drink it twice, but, you know, more than two, and it's just like, gotta get some variety in life. Variety is the spice of life, right? Anyway, welcome, everybody. Steven, good to see you. And if you want to be a member of the channel, link is in the description. Click the More button down below. You can see the link right there, and be a member of the channel. You get extra content that I don't post for the public right there. And a lot of my insider details. Gonna make more videos and stuff on what I'm doing in the background. So there you go. It won't be trade alerts. The publishing company said I'm not allowed to do channel memberships with trade alerts, so it won't be trade alerts. But it, you know, we can talk about anything else. I'll do live streams and stuff like that for members only, and still trying to get my feet under what all it's gonna be. So, all right. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We had the jobs report, the non-farm payrolls, as they call it, came out this morning. And, well, it's interesting. We had the payrolls miss, a miss on payrolls, but we had a beat on unemployment. That's, so I guess the bottom line is, it doesn't trigger the recession rule, and it's probably not bad enough to trigger a 0.5 point rate cut in 2 weeks or a week and a half, however you want to look at it. So we're probably still at a 1/4 point, and it's back to what I was saying in the market, or what I was saying about the Fed. If they only cut a 1/4 point, is the market going to be disappointed with that and have a knee-jerk reaction? I certainly feel like I'm going to be adding some protection, downside protection, if we stay elevated into the FOMC meeting coming up. So this is it's a curious situation we've got the whole market in right now, and we can pop over and look at the jobs and the reports and stuff here in just a second. Right there. Oh, cool. It hit refresh and it didn't refresh. There we go. So we've got non-farm unemployment change. That's still a gain, but it's lower gain than the estimated. Much higher than the previous. Right there. And you're having trouble seeing, you know, let's see, a big old bar there. So there was the previous right there. Here's the current. This is what we were expecting. So that came in light. The unemployment rate actually came in slightly lower. Even though it says 4.2, 4.2, came in slightly lower than expected. We do have Williams speaking right here at 8:45. And then we've got Waller speaking at 11 right there. So those are the important things. How did you all become a member? Link is right down there. In the more, click the More button. There's a link to join as a member of the channel right there in the description of the video. It's right on the channel homepage too. So, and you get, there's some extra, for members, you can use the dumpster fire emoji. I've added that. So when we pull up a dumpster fire, you can use the dumpster fire emoji. And there's some other fun emojis I've added only for members to be able to use on the live stream. So anyway. Dun, 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 dun. I can swap it out for a green one. I actually have a green can of, like, maybe I should put both of them, so try to balance it out. But the green one is clear. You know, it comes up clear because of the green screen behind me. But there you go. I do green screen myself so I can show up on the chart here like this. So hopefully we balance it out, right? All right. All the actual numbers in the euro are way off. Okay, well, this is these numbers here. I don't know, whatever. I don't really trade Forex that much. I mean, I do keep an eye on it, but I don't really trade it. So yeah, maybe they're way off, maybe they're not. I mean, I'm not debating. Now, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation here is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any stocks, options, bonds, Forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, yeah, even treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. Think about it. Every trade, buyer, seller, winner, loser, that's a 50-50 odds that you're on the wrong side. Every trade, there's a loser. So if you desire personal financial advice, you're like, hey, just tell me what to do. That's not what I do. You need to hire and consult a financial advisor that can tell you what to do. Somebody that's certified to give you trading advice. That's not me. At least not right now. We've been talking about it in the background that maybe I do that and then I could actually give you advice. But right now, that's not, I mean, that's a whole new level of stress right there. Really. I mean, I'd have to go a whole new level of conservative on giving people advice probably. I am, somewhat aggressive in some of my trades. So if you didn't notice. All right. The S&P, here's where we are. This is where we left it yesterday. We poked it down, tried to fill the gap. Look how close we got, and then closed back up. Look at that right there. Look at the tail. We poked all the way down right there, trying to fill that gap. Left a little bit left. Maybe like, well, what gap are you even talking about? It's this one right here, this gap. Right there, right there. We tried to fill it. We got about halfway there. We might come on down. That's entirely possible there. Now, look at the futures. Things were looking pretty okay. We did basically make it all the way to the bottom of the red box. Look at that. Look at that. Right down to the bottom, right where I identified yesterday that we might touch the bottom of. And now we're back on top right there with a green little doji so far. This could be the bottom. Very well could. Jumping on down the time frame so you can see what's been happening and crapping. Look at this. Look at this drop. Look at this drop right here. We went from 5,500 all the way down here to 44.65. That's like a 35-point drop right there at 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning Eastern time. What the heck was going on? We kind of hung out there till the jobs report, and then boom, popping right back up. That was a weird, right there. It was like a weird middle of the night market flush out. 3 a.m. Like, I was asleep. Were you asleep? I was asleep. 3 a.m. Eastern time. I mean, we're talking like, what, midnight Pacific? Hang out at the bottom, over to here. Jobs report comes out, and rocket ship. Can we stay up here and go higher? That's the question. Question mark right there. So this looks good for a reversal right now. Looks good for a reversal right now. Was that all that the bots needed? We don't actually have to fill the gap on the cash like that. We went right down there, stayed, held, getting back above. These highs right here will be important today. Here's the levels right in here that are important today. If we can get above that, right around that 55.60 on the futures, that's ES1 exclamation point /ES. If you're not familiar with what futures are, this is the futures. If you've ever heard somebody talking about it and you're like, I didn't even know how to find these, right here they are. Slightly different than the cash index. And why do I watch it? Because, well, the cash index isn't moving, right? Quit trading at 4 o'clock yesterday, and it starts trading in about 3 minutes here today. It just sits there overnight, and we open and we see where we're going. So I did speculate that we may come on down. So we could see some weakness after the market opens. But, hey, thank you, Jockey. Jockey Ricky, thank you very much. And so this is what to keep an eye on right there. These levels right up here, right around 55.60. Right there. We're breaking through the 15-minute roadmap line. That is a sign of some strength. We may come back and retest the 5-minute. We busted through very strongly after rejecting and rejecting and rejecting. Busted through strongly. May run out of juice. Come back, retest, or we move on up. Now, looking at the 30 minutes, right there. Then that 1 hour way on up here. That'll be the test right there. Those prior highs right in there at the roadmap line on the 1 hour. Then we can get up to the 4 hour, which is right in the same vicinity. So that'll be some significant resistance to going higher right there, right in that 55.60 area, with the 1 hour and the 4 hour right in that vicinity. The daily, of course, down below us, way down here. And the weekly is way down here. If we are to break down through the daily, we're probably going to visit the weekly. We haven't been down there in quite a while. Since back here in March of 2023. That's like 18 months ago. We'll visit it again. I guarantee you. One of these days we'll go back and visit. We don't stay gone for long. And we could spend a few years away from it. And this one over here went from February 16 over here 18. So that was like 2.5 years. That was a long one, but eventually we'll come back and visit the weekly. Eventually, it won't necessarily be here. If we keep drifting higher, it'll be up here. But eventually we'll come back and visit that weekly roadmap line. And you're like, roadmap line? What the devil is this thing? Link, well, you go to my channel homepage. Link is in the description, though, if you just want to pay $5, get a masterclass and all the things. It's a support resistance line. It works on all time frames. See right here, the 1 minute. We were resistance, 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 resistance. Oh, we got through. Tried to run away, came back, back tested. Tried to run away again, back tested, and now we're nowhere near it right there on the 1 minute. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. So there's what we got cooking today for ES. NQ, very similar, very similar. Now, the big difference. Let's look at this right here. Go down to a 4 hour. We did a move up and a retrace to a potential, what I call measured bounce. Hit the minimum requirement for a measured bounce at the 50% retrace there. This could be a powerful, powerful move higher. Adjust that right there for what we've got. Now we could push on down, get the 618. We haven't done that so far. And there's the market popping open. Sets the stage to rally up here in this 21 to 22, possibly even $23,000, 3,000 point area on NQ. This is NASDAQ, same as NDX, same as if you divide NQ by 41, you get QQQ right here, roughly. It's not perfect 41, but pretty darn close right here. So if you've been wondering about this, how do you trade these? ES is SPY, SPX, all the S&P 500 stuff. NQ, QQQ, and then Russell here is IWM, small caps, and well, I don't know. This is concerning a little bit. Not as strong here. Now it could also be a measured bounce. It also could come down, retest the roadmap line, and if we break that, we could be in store for a much bigger, deeper move down in here, like 1300. Definitely concerned here on Russell. Definitely concerned. That's a lot of red days in a row. Although that is a 3-wave move so far. Keeping my eye on that. Keeping my eye on this one for indication of weakness in the market. We did break down below the uptrend of lows, and we've pushed down quite a bit. Touching that minimum requirement for a measured bounce, we could touch the 618 and the roadmap line a second time here, set up a potential powerful move up, but I'm just not sure yet. Just not sure. That's what we're doing on Russell. Oil is flirting with touching my target zone. It's interesting. We found 3 days of support here. Right there. This could be a fake out. Like this push out at the bottom of the watermelon seed squeeze could be a fake out, and we go ripping higher. If you've missed what I said about the outcome of the election based on this, well, if we go down, the incumbent team is going to win. Probably upgrade the position of the one who's running, and then the challenger may win if we get a pop. And if we stay in the middle, it's a kind of a coin flip based on oil prices. GC. This has been, I don't know if we're hunting a top or we're consolidating for a breakout. That was a giant pop. Like if we look at this down here in the 5-minute, look at this. Look at this pop on, look at that move we did on the jobs report. And then we took it right back by the time the market opened. Isn't that wild? I mean, look at that move. That went from 37 all the way up there to 60. That's a pretty big move in oil and gold. But still hanging in the box, hanging in the consolidation box. Couldn't break higher, hadn't broken down. Just indecision. Like I said, is this a consolidation before we pop it again, or are we going to need a deeper retest of prior support and resistance? Unclear right now. Unclear. Now, one that is more clear, silver. Much more clear for me. It's a very, very nice pattern. I really like this pattern. SLV is a way to play. If you don't know, AGQ, another way to play. This has bounced off the roadmap line, come up, done a secondary test with a measured bounce potential. This has the potential to make an outsized large move higher in a very short period of time. Dun, 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 dun. Very, very large outsized potential for an upside move. Now, silver did do, metals kind of flow together. Crazy, but pop and then right back to it. But it's just hanging in the range there. Can it break out? Does it start running and just not make sense for anybody? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. So Bitcoin, jumping over. Look at that. Measured bounce. We got there, Sledge. We actually held it on the futures chart. Dun, 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 dun. We actually held it on the spot market chart. And Jody, if you're watching, this is the make it or break it time right here. Can we hold? Can we get the follow through? This is, key resistance right above us. Break through it. Break through that. It's 2 confirmations. Really sets the odds. I'm going to say like 85% chance we're going to new highs if we break through those 2 resistances right there. Now, if we fail, all bets are off. So we really, this is key right here. We don't want to go lower. Want to hold here. Don't want to go lower. Got to break here and then here. That's the 2 levels on the daily chart. There and there. Break above that. 85% likely we're going higher. I mean, this is a key support. Now, if we get below this, probably coming down here. That's the downside. So, yeah, we want that to hold. I want that to hold. Trust me, I've got 6 figures of money tied up in this baby, and maybe more. Maybe getting close to. Yeah, it's definitely in the 6 figures. I don't have 7 figures tied up in Bitcoin. If silver and gold hit, I can put 7 figures on crypto, but that's a different story. Anyway, all right, moving on. Ethereum, man, come on. Oh gosh, that's so close. Look at that. We're down at the bottom. Just the tail left. One little flush would clean that chart up really clean, and then we could rally. All it would take, one little spike. One little spike. And if Bitcoin were to spike down and then get a tail that was lower, no big deal. This, no big deal. This would indicate we could potentially reverse. First support right there. Next support is going to be all the way, gosh. Let's move this over. And next support, or next, excuse me, support, resistance. Resistance here, and then right in this zone right there. Right there. Get above that, we're probably going on up. Maybe as high as 7,000 on Ethereum. I'm just looking at the futures, certified price and all. Dollar. What an interesting. It's like a slinky, right? Going down. Like, I would, the next support level down here at these prior lows, and then I've been holding the theory for almost feels like 2 years now. We're going down to the mid 90s on the dollar. Japanese stock market. Actually got a green day yesterday. Took it back today. Got a lower low. This may continue right back down into this zone right here. Find support. If we do and turn higher, that could be good. And then maybe we could leave behind the narrative that the Japan carry trade is going to blow us all out of the water, at least for now. That'd be nice, right? All right. And let me double check. My list is up to date. Yeah, there we go. AGX. Wow. That's low price stuff. Not even sure what's going on there. Unless it was the wrong AGX. I bet it was. Let's see. I bet the platform pulled up the wrong AGX. And there we are. There we are. There's the right AGX. Trading views sometimes, I don't know. You would think they just pull up the one that made sense. But no, we pulled up some random one on the whatever stock exchange. Wow. That's right up into targets. Not sure what to say there. I mean, that's the same pattern we were looking at on lots of different stuff there. Moved up, retraced, and then pop right up to the targets, 91. Maybe up to 101, maybe up to 107, but that's kind of played out right now. And probably, I mean, look at other times when we got a pop. Just consolidate for a while before we go any higher. Pop, consolidate, drift back down, rally up strong, consolidate, drift back down, retrace, pop. Probably going to consolidate in this area. Maybe drift up to the next fib line, but then retrace again. That's what I would expect. So always be careful chasing things that pop. Guidewire software. Wow. Looking at the bigger. Retrace from back here. 180 would probably be significant resistance. We had some trouble getting through the 1272. Now we're through it. Next level up, 180, 232 above that. And this may retrace back to the roadmap line on the daily. How do you spot the pop before? We put a lot of effort into finding those ones. The ones on the daily chart, the daily picks are the ones that the bonus trades. Today I don't have a bonus trade, funny enough. WHLR. Ridiculous pop, but my gosh. Reverse split, three reverse splits right there. I mean, this is a nasty chart. Dumpster fire. I would not touch this with any money that you gave me. Even if you said, light this money on fire, I would not put it in WHLR. Lulu was on the poppers list. That's not exactly... Okay, so this thing can be a measured bounce on this big picture. Look at that big move up, retrace 618. We're going to have to break through the roadmap line, maybe back test it before we set up to make the big move higher, up to around 700. There you go, Don. Don figured out the dumpster fire emoji. I love it. I love it. All right, AMB. AMB, probably going to come back to the roadmap line. Right there. Tesla was on the poppers list. Now we're giving it back. But look what we did. Look what we did yesterday. Anybody see that? Everybody see it? There's the downtrend line. We got to close above it. Can we maintain it? Can we get continuation? That's the big question. This downtrend line has been a downtrend line for a long time. We tried to break out right back here earlier in the summer. Now we're on the second attempt. Can we hold it? Can we get continuation? This high will be extremely important right here at 270, where we topped out back in July. We break through that, probably easily coming up to this 350 area. Easily. Maybe cruising on up to eventually the 500 area that I've been looking for gosh darn near like 3 years now. After that, not so sure. Not so sure. So watching this, I do have long Tesla shares, long TSLL. No options, just shares. SRCL, Stericycle. Golly. I don't like that chart. Why? That's a lot of chop. It's not even a big range. That's like 30 points, almost 40 points from the lows right there up to that high right there. It's not even a big range. And oh man, that just, no thank you. Coin. Looking for this to, oh, it made a lower low. Ooh, baby. That may need one little push down to that 154.92 area, but the lower low kind of cleans that all up. Doesn't have that. Doesn't have that. We did. Yep. So now this one over here, we'll move over here. Resistance area, still basically the same. Looking for this to finish up this correction here. That looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can be done. That can be done. That's, if you're not seeing what I'm talking about, here's the initial 1. Here's the 2. Here's the 3. Nice and strong. Here's the 4. Consolidation, holding below a 1, and then here's the 5. To a lower low. That's what we needed. That cleans this up. That was first move down, 3-wave retrace, 5-wave down. That's A, B, C. That can finish up. That was it. That's what we needed on Coinbase to finish up this correction. Right there. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for becoming a channel member. I appreciate it. Right there. And that's it. Like, that's what we needed. Now, can it go lower? Yeah, it can go lower. That's the minimum requirements are in place for this to make a reversal. Like, everything can be complete now. Like, there's no more ambiguity in the pattern. So, watching for that to get back above the roadmap line now. Set your alert right here and pretty much go long when we break above. Like, you could even take the aggressive long here, more conservative confirmation when we get above the 618, even more confirmation when we get above this trifecta of highs right here. This high, and this high, get above those highs. Another layer. We do that, we're probably going to bust right through that prior high right there. Probably going to get continuation right up to that 362 area pretty quickly. Looks pretty sweet. IoT. Crypto's kind of coming together. Like, if it passes up this opportunity right now, it's going to be a bummer for another couple of weeks or months even. IoT. What a chart. What a chart. That's a messy chart. I'll just clear everything. Start over. Right there. There was your... So, Muku, the question was, how do you know it's going to make a move up? We had this correction back here in June. We popped up. Gave you an entry right here in July. Chopped around. Got you concerned. You're going to lose. And then it goes ripping up. Bounces off the prior high and then shoots right up to the target right there. So this one, even though we're not talking like a 200-point drop. So here's the deal. That was the high. There was the low. Came back up. Got the close above the 618. Could get in. Gave you plenty of time. Even an opportunity to get in back down here when we held. Rallying from there up to the target. Right there. 44 was the target. Maybe 46, but that's it. Like, that trade is done for now for me. I didn't take that trade, just for the record, but if I was in that trade, that would be done. That's the pattern I'm looking for. Like, pretty much exactly. SMAR, Smart Sheet, package software, huh? There we are, heading on up. 57 is the target. MSTR was on the poppers list. Barely. Looking for this to hold this. Here, another opportunity right here. This can pop in a big way. It's another roadmap bounce with a measured bounce nested inside it, just like silver. I'm holding on to my 10 shares of MSTR. Waiting for that one to pop. Target's way up here, 200. NVO. Turn down at the resistance. Even though we're on the poppers list, watch out for deeper retrace. Now, if we can break through this resistance, 152, 156 on the upside. All right, decliners, things that were declining. AVGO. Is this the roadmap line test? It got deeper than the measured bounce. If this continues down the path, if we get a close down here around 135 today, we're probably cruising on down, lower, maybe 117, maybe even down here to the 100 area. Would not surprise me right now on AVGO. SMCI. We do have the Apple event coming up in 3 days on Monday. Are they going to announce? What are they going to announce? AI phones? Typically, Apple new product announcement week underperforms the S&P by about 0.75%. Now, that if we go ripping higher in a big way, that means the Apple may lag And I was talking about that yesterday. So if you missed out, go check that out. Now, SMCI, continuing down the path. Right down here. Right down here. Coming on down. Right down here. That's what I expect. Been expecting that since January. This was the bubble pattern. If you're new, you haven't seen this before, check this out right here. Very common pattern in the market. We do some craziness. Now the tells, when you get people telling you to buy something that are not in this industry, like not me saying, hey, buy this. It's like your flight stewardess talking about NVIDIA or SMCI, or your window installer telling you, hey, I see you got some stock chart. I'll give you a tip. Buy some SMCI. That people that shouldn't be talking about the stock market, and typically, this not normal talking about the stock market. Your gutter installer, your window installer, your plumber, when they're talking about how rich they can be on an AI trade, for example, and then everybody's like super excited, man, this thing's not gonna quit. Jim Cramer is like, oh man, the sky's the limit. This is never going to give up. It's the strongest thing ever. Watch out. Warning, warning, warning. Then we get the initial pullback. We get this consolidation. This is the GTFO. Next warning right there. You hear people, oh, we're just going to have to cool off a little bit. We're just going to rally some more. Then we get this part. You get the anxiety, the denial, the panic, the capitulation. Ugh, this is even the depression down here. Like, don't get stuck in this. Don't get stuck in that right there. You could trade for that if you want to, but you're going to have to buy a lot of time. I ran out of time on SMCI. Didn't buy enough time. The consolidation over here took way longer than I thought it might. Time is the hardest part of this game. Right there. Right there. Yeah. Oh, watch out. And this could go even deeper. We could take it all the way back to about 100. Right there on SMCI. FNGU. Potentially working on a measured bounce. This is a 3x leverage. Remember, leverage is dangerous. If you're new here, 4 things commonly don't follow my patterns. Low-priced equities. Leveraged equities, like 3x leverage right here. Biotechs, things that the Food and Drug Administration of the United States gets involved in. That's, biotech, medtech, specialty, medical specialty, pharmaceuticals, all those sort of things. And the last one being China stuff. China gets listed on the U.S. exchange, and they don't have to play by the same rules. So they can just announce, hey, we made up all the numbers. And all of a sudden, their chart doesn't do the same thing that I'm looking for. So those are 4 things that I've learned by touching the hot stove over and over and over and over and over and over. It seems like AVB. Wow. That's going exponential. Be careful. Starting to look like the bubble pattern. That could come back down right there. Do. What a ticker. Do. Do is just a choppy hunt the bottom thing, it looks like. Could be a bubble pattern, but right now we're just consolidating. Holding those lows pretty well right there. Holding that zone. If we get below that zone, watch out for a deeper move. If we break back above, gosh, looks like right in here. Then we go higher. If we just stay in between, just more choppy sideways action right there. All right, moving on. TW. Looking for that to return to the roadmap line. Right there. SOXX. May push lower. Watch out. That is a setup for going lower. The target right down here. That is semiconductor ETF. Let's see, USD is right down here. Target right down there. Held the resistance. Got the first move down. The retrace held in the perfect resistance. That gap. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. That is ultra. That's leveraged. So that's leverage on semiconductors and AI right there. PII. That's turning down at the roadmap line. Watch for the extension lower. How much lower could she go? Polaris. Can take it down to this 67, 69 area right there. And there were no bonus trades today, but looking at some of the past ones, let's see a question about AIG. Yeah, no difference. And retrace to the, did a retrace, reset. Still, this can take a long time. As we went through, let's see, let me pull up the statistics on that from back a few days ago. Let's pull it back up. That was the bonus trade on the 3rd, right? So right here, here's the statistics. This can take 33 trading days. Actually, it can take way longer than that right there. 33 trading days on average over 49 trades. What does that mean? It means I don't even expect this to play out till at least 33 trading days. So we're talking about right here on average. Could it go faster? It could. Could it go slower? Absolutely. You betcha. How much slower? Well, I don't have time to wait around for this. Well, don't get in the trade. Could be 2 times longer. Easily 2 times longer. Could even be 3 times longer. That's January. This could take a while. Could even be 5 times longer than the average. 33 times 5, 155? No, 165. 165. There, it could be 5 times longer before this plays out to the target. These are slow-moving trades. It might take a while. There you go. All right. Hopefully that answers the question about AIG. What about AIG? Right there. Some of the ones we've hit on in the past several days. Let me pop that back up and roll through it. FHI. Oh. Heh. Wrong thing. Cool. FHI. Still hanging. Let's see. VRSN. Yeah, still fine. VeriSign. Let's see. FDS. These are all ones from this week. FDS still hanging. Still good. No problems. GTLB. This may be a hidden AI play right here. 5860. And you could get in the ride for a much larger potential to ride this one up to maybe in the 85, 90, maybe even 100 area, way up here, if it gets sparky. Could be a hidden AI play. A lot of the code bases are managed on GitLab and GitHub, and this is GitLabs. So there you go. That's a potential right there for you. Alrighty. Well, bias for the day. That's what we all want to know, right? What are we watching today? Ooh, S&P retracing. Thought that might happen a little bit. Go back. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, we may go for that gap fill. Yeah, we may. Came up shy. So that's what I'm watching for. That's the key level right there, 5460. We can break above this level up here, 5670. indicates we're probably going higher. That's what I'm watching right there. That's kind of that zone. That zone, we get below this, below the gap fill. Then I'm start questioning my life choices on being long right now. 5,300 is where we're probably changing the odds that we're going down to visit that weekly roadmap line. That weekly roadmap line, remember, all the way down here, 4,500 right now. 45, 46, all right? That's a huge downside. All right, if you want to protect it right now, buy something like a 500 or 510 long SPY XSP. Maybe sell a 4,500, cover the downside. If we drop out, you make 500 points, 600 points, 5 to 600 points, 50 or 60 points on SPY or XSP. All right. How long should you do that? Probably out to January if you're going to try to cover it through the election. All right. If you want to have something downside in place, long in that 5,050, 510, like on XSP, you didn't even know this existed. Somewhere around that 500, 510. Buy the 45 underneath it out in January. Cover that downside right there. All right. There's an idea. How do you cover the downside? How do you cover this? Now, if you want to be more aggressive, you can come all the way up in here, 53, 530, 540. That's going to be way more expensive than this one down here. But you get that extra 30, 30, 40 points. All right. Any questions? No? Thanks for coming, everybody. If anything I said was helpful, beneficial, there you go. That's a way to cover the downside if you wanted to. I do not have any of those spreads on right now. And be safe out there. Remember, it's your account. Nobody else is watching out for you but you. And nobody has a more vested interest in your well-being and financial stability than you. So be careful out there. I'll see you on Monday. I'll be back, same bat time, same bat channel, right here, 9:15 Eastern Time, Monday morning. Make sure you subscribe.